I've done the live and then I don't have to worry, right?
Well, if she hops on, she hops on.
Yeah, because she said she was going to be ready. Okay, so let me just make sure the live is happening. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our monthly cooking class. Worry, right? Turn my phone down. Okay, perfect. Welcome to our monthly cooking class. It is March, you guys. Can you believe it's already March? Some areas there's snow, some areas there's rain, some areas there's sunshine. Well, there's sunshine here in California. She says she can't get in. I don't know why. Okay, so today we are going to be doing stuff with our Jello mold and our stack cooker, and I'm going to actually do a meatloaf, and Lori is going to do a pistachio cake. Okay, so we're kind of giving you guys some ideas that will help you get ready for St. Patty's Day. I don't do corned beef and cabbage, but you know what, Diane, I'm gonna call you out. You should be cooking with us today on this cooking class because I watched you do corned beef and cabbage the other day on your live. And you did it in the pressure cooker. And so you should have said, I'm gonna join the cooking class, Rita, and I'll just do corned beef and cabbage. Because how many of you would want to know how to make that in that pressure cooker? Right?
That's something we eat.
So Diane, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out, Diane, calling you out. All right, so I'm gonna start first since my thing takes a little bit longer, and then that way I can get it molded before I stick it in the oven and you guys can see how it looks. I'm just gonna tilt my counter a little bit and let me know that you guys can see my counter. Can you guys see my counter? Or I need to tilt a little more.
A little more.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to cut my head off. Is that better?
Yeah.
My head's not cut off?
No, not really.
Okay. All righty.
Like back in the day with cameras, right?
I know, right?
Oh, my head's cut off.
I feel like my head is cut off, so I'm just gonna move my laptop back just a little bit. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, so I'm gonna use our That's a Bowl Junior. And if you don't own a That's a Bowl, you guys should all get a That's a Bowl. A That's a Bowl works well. I'm actually gonna use my hands, but I'll put on gloves for those of you that may think it's kind of gross to touch meat. I don't think it's gross to touch meat, so, but I'm gonna use my gloves. But I'm gonna get some stuff prepped first. So this is our Power Chef. You know, the new version is called the Supersonic Chopper. We know that you can't get this big one, but the minute the big one comes back, you guys need to grab it. But I'm also going to use the baby as well. Okay, so you're gonna see that I do my meatloaf a little bit different than probably most people, just because that's who I am. Okay, and I'm all about flavor and I like things like that. So in my big chopper, I'm going to add some celery. How many of you add celery to your meatloaf? Does anybody put celery in their meatloaf? Okay, so then maybe it's the southern side of me. So it's part of that Holy Trinity. So I'm gonna add some green bell pepper, okay, celery, and then I'm gonna add some red bell pepper, okay, because it's gonna give it a little bit of color. Plus, bell pepper is so good for you that I think the red has good antioxidants in it. I don't know what the green one does. I know that Diane only likes the red ones because it has good flavor, because I know she shared that one time on a cooking class, right?
Yeah.
But I love all forms of bell pepper for so many things. So hold on. So Karen, I can't give that to you right now because I'm flat in the middle of the cooking class. So
do you want me to help her quick?
Yeah. So Linda's gonna help you, Karen.
So
okay, Karen, help. I don't know.
Through Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. She doesn't know the number to Zoom, and I don't know why she's having a hard time. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna throw this into my Power Chef, and then I'm gonna go ahead and chop it. Now, the reason why we add this is because it's gonna, just give extra flavor to your meat. And if I look like I was struggling, because the glasses I'm wearing are for the computer and not for what I'm doing. So everything is a little blurry if I look down at something else, okay? All right, so I'm just literally, I'm gonna like mince this really, really fine. because you don't have to see it in the meatloaf. You just gotta know that it's there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so you don't, yeah, so I've got it all. It's all diced pretty good, okay? So then I'm going to take some onion. Okay, some regular onion. Now, I'm not gonna put a whole lot of onion, but I am gonna put some onion because onion, I don't know, it's part of that Holy Trinity. It adds flavor to everything, right? I mean, I put onion almost in everything I cook. I don't know if you guys do, but I do. I have a friend who tells me she hates onions. She doesn't like onions, but she eats my food all the time. So I just told her one day, I'm like, you don't like onion, but I put onion in everything. So maybe it's good. Maybe you're not chopping yours up. And I'm gonna throw in a little bit of fresh garlic here too. So I'm gonna put this in my baby chopper. Now, the cool thing about our baby chopper is it's available again. Are you guys excited about that?
I
Yeah.
just saw that.
Yeah, the baby chopper is back in business. So I like to chop it with the garlic. So that's why I'm doing it separate and I didn't do it all in the same thing just because, I don't know, sometimes I'm a little anal like that and I just like to keep some things separate and it gives me a little bit more control because if I don't end up using all of that mix, then I would have mixed everything and that's not what I want to do, right? I know I'm going to use all of this onion, but I don't, what if I don't use all of that? So just throwing that out there.
I sent her a message through the link through Messenger if she's watching live. I sent the Zoom link through Messenger to her
Okay.
if she's watching.
Yeah, she has to be one of our cooks. That's why she needs to be on.
I don't know her. I don't know her phone number, so I just sent it through Messenger.
That should work.
Is she looking at it from Messenger?
Hold on, I'll look again.
Okay. So I've got my onion all diced, everything, dropped some, of course, but you know, we'll pick that. Okay. Alrighty. So now this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. All right. So I'm doing my meatloaf with ground turkey. I know that some people use ground beef, whatever your preference is. I started using ground turkey a few years ago. I used to do it with ground beef, and then I just decided I wanted to not eat as much red meat. And if I have a choice of where I'm doing red meat, it's probably in a steak or a hamburger, right? So I'm just, you know, I try to mix things up a little bit because I think it's important for our longevity of our life. Does that make sense? Longevities of our life? Yeah. Okay. So I'm only going to use, I'm not going to use a full 2 pounds of ground turkey. I'm only going to use 1.5 pounds. I don't need to use the full 2 pounds. Some people do 2 pounds, but you know, it's just, you know, the two of us and I don't need that much meatloaf. And then I'm gonna give some to Ashley. So I'm just gonna use 1.5 pounds. That makes sense? 1.5 pounds. So do you guys that make meatloaf, do you guys use 2 pounds? Tell me what you guys use.
I just use 1 pound. Well, actually, I don't make meatloaf anymore because my daughter doesn't like meatloaf, but if I make it into meatballs, she'll eat it.
Ah, funny. What about the rest of you? Do any of you guys do it?
Yeah, I do about 1 pound now.
You do 1 pound. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do 1.5 pounds and I'm gonna take the other 0.5 pound and I'm gonna put it in my freezer mate, right? Because then I'll use this 0.5 pound of ground beef for when I do like baked beans or something like that. You know what I mean? So you always need ground turkey for something. Gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing, right? I'm so confused. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay. All right. So I got my meat in here, right? And I'm used to using my hands, but I'm using gloves because I'm doing it for you all. All right. So I am going to grab my little things here and I'm going to mix my onion in. Okay. Then I'm going to put in I'm calling this my holy trinity. So I didn't grab it all. I just grabbed some because I want to make sure that I'm going to need it all. And if I don't end up using it all, then I'm going to put the rest in like my egg bites or something. But I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's why I did it separate. Oh, people are trying to get in. Hold on.
I'll just throw the glove away.
I know. It's like, it's okay. Oh, where did the people go? Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I know, tell her I'm letting them in, and I know they're trying to text me, but I can't like do my phone, text on my phone, and all of those wonderful things all at the same time.
One
Okay.
of them, Paulette.
All right.
Karen's in. Yep.
Okay, all righty. So now I added my celery, my bell pepper, right? So got all that in there. I got my onion and my garlic, right? Okay. All right, so that's kind of mixed up kind of good. And I don't think that I'll need the rest of that bell pepper that I chopped up in celery. So again, you know, like I said, I'll use it for something else. And I can always freeze that too, because that can be thrown into soup or anything. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So now I'm right-handed, right? But yeah, okay. Never mind. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper. If you know me, I don't really like pepper, so I don't even get down with pepper that much. But I feel like I have to add it a little bit, right? I'm gonna throw in some garlic powder. I already put fresh garlic, but you need garlic powder too. Don't ask me why, but I like my food seasoned, so I do that. So now I'm gonna add some Italian herb seasoning. Not a lot, but this is our Tupperware blend seasoning. So I'm gonna add that because then it's gonna just give it that little kick. And then I'm gonna throw one more thing in there and you guys are gonna be like, what, Sharita? Okay, so then I'm gonna put,
I put that in mine.
okay, perfect, perfect. So glad I only use one hand.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so then I'm gonna add a package of Lipton onion soup mix because you have to, right? You have to add this because it's like the flavor. Scissors. Where are the scissors when you need it?
I'm gonna have you help me.
Okay,
I
all
have
right,
some-
so I'm gonna add this Lipton onion soup mix, okay? All right, I wanna be careful because I don't want it to be over seasoned, but I want it to be, seasoned enough.
We didn't.
Okay. All right, so now, oh, it smells so good. That's how you want your meatloaf to smell, right? You want it to smell good. Okay. Okay, so now the next thing you gotta add, I gotta add an egg. Guess I'm good with that left hand. Okay, gotta add an egg. And then you gotta add some breadcrumbs. I got you all now? I mean, is this something you guys all do?
Yep.
Oats.
Yeah, yep.
All right. But you gotta mix that in. The egg is for the binding, to bind it all together to make it, stick or whatever. That's what I say.
Yeah, otherwise it just falls apart.
Yeah, and so I didn't add any salt. If you guys add salt, go for it, but I don't because the Lipton onion soup mix probably has salt in it, and I know that the Italian herb seasoning mix has kosher salt. So I don't really need any more salt, right? Right, you don't need any more salt. That's enough salt. Okay, so now we're gonna do our breadcrumbs. I'm working with one hand here. And
Do you always measure it out or do you ever eyeball?
I do eyeball, but this time I'm pouring some in this cup just to make sure I did. Oh, I left off something. Hold up. I forgot to put some Worcestershire in there. Do you guys do that?
I have.
Yeah. I don't know what it does, but you're supposed to put that in there. I don't know. Oh, goodness.
It adds more salt. No.
Oh, is that what it does? Okay, there you go.
Well, well, because Worcestershire, doesn't that have anchovies in it, right?
I
Oh,
believe
it
so.
does have anchovies. Yeah, so there you go. There's your salt. So that's why you don't need salt, people. You're just going to put Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, just going to put that in
Your
there.
fire.
Yeah, make that good. Okay. And so this is, your meatloaf, right? And so I always feel like you have to make sure that whatever food you're eating, that the food tastes good to you, right? And if the food doesn't taste good to you, then it's going to be a problem. And so the one thing I know I don't like is I don't like bland food. So that's why I try to make sure that I season well, and I want to be able to smell it, right? Smell my seasoning, knowing that it's good. So I got my meatloaf. It's all like, I know I got enough egg because it's, you know how meatloaf, it's like a clump, right? So it's that clump. I got enough breadcrumbs. So that's going to be that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our Jell-O mold. I'm going to move some stuff out of my way before, I have a catastrophe around here. And then you guys will see what happened to me when I did that class. Remember that class with the seasonings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was a disaster. Remember? You guys remember that?
Yes.
But that's how life goes.
I know, right? Exactly. So I'm trying to make life go right. All right. So I can smell the seasoning. I'm going to have a nice meatloaf. It's going to be healthy, semi-healthy because it's ground turkey. But again, you guys can do ground beef if you want, right? Okay. So I'm going to take I just want to make sure that it's on here. All right. I'm done with these things, people. You just need to know I don't work well with those. But I want to make sure my Jell-O was put together, right? Okay. So now I'm going to take my meatloaf. Don't be grossed out because I took my gloves off, okay? Just know that sometimes you just got to use your hands.
Well, and it gets cooked, so it don't matter.
Right. And it's, it's perfect. I washed my hands already. So listen, I've washed my hands so much today. You don't even want to know. Okay. So I'm going to set this in here to mold. All right. And then what's going to happen is so that I make sure it's molded for me to put it out into my pan for you guys to see it. I'm just going to stick it in my freezer literally for like 5 minutes. That's going to give me the mold. And then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when I unmold it. And I'm unmold it into our voila glass. And then I'm going to bake it. Now, I normally do my meatloaf in the Ultra Pro, right? Because I love Ultra Pro. But because I want to make sure that we're highlighting all of our products, right? I'm going to do it in the voila glass. The difference is I'm going to have to use foil because I always cover my meatloaf with my Ultra Pro cover. And so, our voila glass doesn't have that kind of cover for the oven. So I'll just cover it, with foil, which is fine. I always have foil.
Could you use the cover from the Ultra Pro if it fits nicely on top of the voila?
I'm using the round.
Okay.
Oh, you think that I could just lay it on there? Maybe just lay it. You know what? I'll figure that out when I go to put it in, but that's a good, thank you for that. Okay. So let me wash this and let me put the cover on and go stick it in my freezer. And then who wants
the round Ultra Pro?
who has a question? Somebody had a question?
What about the round Ultra Pro? The round one.
I don't have the round Ultra Pro in my kitchen.
Oh.
I only have the square and the other ones. Okay, so who wants to go next? Karen, I'm glad you made it. Yay, she made it.
I was having I couldn't get on with my phone. I had to hook up with my iPad.
Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I didn't even spotlight myself when I was doing that. Why didn't you guys tell me?
I just put you on speaker view, but
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I didn't, well, it's probably bad for the video, but I didn't spotlight myself, but I'll spotlight myself. But here, I put it in here and I'm gonna stick this in my freezer just so it can set the mold. So who's gonna go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, who said that? Lori?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so
it
I'm gonna
takes like 8 minutes to
yeah, no
cook.
worries. Okay, so I'm gonna get Lori there. Take it away, girl.
All right. So last month when Sharita was talking about, oh, pistachio cake, I was super excited about pistachio cake because I like pistachios and I can actually eat them. And she sent me the recipe and I was very, very disappointed that it was pistachio pudding
Oh,
and not actual pistachios. So the recipe was using a yellow cake mix and a box of pistachio pudding. My light is, but I can't block it anymore. So I'm doing things a little bit differently because in order to eat it, I need to make it gluten-free. And so the gluten-free cake mixes at the store, they all have rice and potato in them, and I can't have rice and potato either. My stomach doesn't like it. So I make my own gluten-free flour. I do a blend. So I am using, ignore that it says coffee cake. This is just a straight up, if you don't put all the seasonings in and do the oat topping and whatnot, it's just a regular cake, right? So this is the recipe I'm using. This was the recipe my dad made when I was a kid. So first up, we're gonna do 3 cups of flour. And there's my flour.
right.
It's super white, but it's a mixture of oat, sorghum, and cassava. That's what I've been using, which seems not to upset my stomach. So we go with it. And my kitchen is so small, I have a hard time placing my laptop so y'all can see everything. All right. So we got our flour in there. Next, we're going to do a tablespoon of baking powder. And I love my spice wedges. I have oodles and oodles of them. I love them to death. I have tons of seasonings because I make my own stuff. So a tablespoon of baking powder. And y'all, I do not cook or bake conventionally. Some people have a heart attack watching me make things. What matters is how does it turn out in the end, right? That's
Yeah.
what matters.
That's right.
All right, so I got my flour, I got my baking powder, and I need 1 cup of sugar. And I'm always doing substitutions, but that's how my body needs it. So it calls for a cup of sugar. So I'm gonna do a 1/2 cup equivalent. I use a stevia. And I know from baking that 12 of these little packets is supposed to be equivalent to 1/2 cup. So I do 1/2 cup of this, or equivalent to.
Do you use the raw stevia?
Do I use what?
The raw stevia?
I haven't. Sometimes I'll use stevia or agave.
Because we use raw stevia and it really tastes great.
Okay. So yeah, now the tedious part of opening all the stupid little packets, because that's what I have, right? If I had it in the canister, then I would just measure it out. But I have the packet, so. And this all goes in, and then I'll do a 1/2 cup of sugar to equal the 1 cup. Because oftentimes I think the stuff that we make, especially in the States, is overly sweet. Because if you go to other countries, their sweets aren't sweet like ours.
No.
They're much more mellow. That, and also, you know, kind of like girl math or whatever you want to call it, because you feel better because there's less calories, right? And then, so my canisters, I have these old canisters. You can see the different kinds of sugar I have in here. So it just depends. Whatever is on top, that's what goes in. On top right now, I have it's evaporated cane juice. And I've had coconut sugar before and all of that good stuff. It just depends on what's a good price. So 1/2 cup of sugar, and I got my stevia in there. And then next up, so I need my milk, eggs, and vanilla and applesauce. So 3 eggs go in. And y'all, I know a lot of recipes say do it in a separate bowl and this and that. I don't do it that way. Do what works for you, right? I baked professionally for over 20 years. I always turned out excellent product. So I do what works for me. So 3 eggs. And the shells go in the compost. That's what I do here.
I think
Alright.
someone told me to do eggs separate just because in case you crack one and then you don't notice it's rotten or something. I think that's why we were always taught to do a
Well,
separate
that
bowl. But
depends on how old your eggs are.
well, yeah, that's true. So
Because if
and
you have chickens,
yeah,
then they're going to be pretty fresh, right?
exactly.
I got my 3
A
eggs.
shell in
Pardon?
or dropping a shell in by accident.
Oh, I know. If you're doing a big batch of stuff, even when I baked professionally, doing 24 eggs, 2 dozen eggs at a time in a batch. I got so skilled. I'm pretty good. All right. So, and instead of oil in the recipe, I'm using applesauce. So anything cakey, you can substitute the oil. You can use applesauce. You can use bean puree. You can use sour cream. You can use yogurt. There's lots of substitutions. So 1/2 cup of applesauce is going in. I know, and you can't even see my bowl. So yeah, like I said, I am not conventional when I make things. What matters is the end result. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you get there. So there's that, and I need a cup of milk. Y'all are so quiet now.
We're getting into it.
And vanilla, I do make my own vanilla as well. And this one, I'm just gonna eyeball it because it's vanilla and you can't really mess up on vanilla. And it's supposed to be a teaspoon of vanilla.
Vanilla is always
Double
good.
check. Make sure I got everything in because sometimes, yes, I do miss things. Okay. We're golden, got all that in. Gonna mix it up. And then once I get that mixed up, I will mix in the pistachio pudding. And I use the impression bowls. At one point in time, I think I had maybe like 5 different kinds of bowls in my cupboard, and it was just annoying. So I just went to one kind. And I chose the impression bowls.
And I'll definitely share this pistachio cake recipe. It's a Tupperware recipe. So
yeah, it's much faster when you do the cake mix, but like I said, I wanted.
But I think it's great that you show this, Lori, because there could be other people that are watching that are gluten-free and they're like, well, I really want that cake, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't eat it. But now you're showing them that they can eat it, right? So I think that'd be good. But I'll share the recipe in the Let's Get Cooking group. Okay.
Yeah. So the other thing is sometimes when you're doing gluten-free and because the flour is different, sometimes you have to add more liquid because this is crazy thick. So I will just add more milk until it's the right consistency for cake batter. And I just eyeball it. I know that stresses some people out, but that's what I do. And like I tell everybody, with anything you do, it's all about practice. The more you do it, the better you get. Generally.
And the other thing, that if you cook a lot, then it's normal for you to do that. Like for me, I learned how to cook from my grandmother, right? And my grandmother didn't measure a lot of things. Like I don't remember seeing like a lot of measuring cups and spoons in our house. So everything she did was a dash of this, a pinch of this, that kind of thing.
When we had the magnets and it was a pinch, a smidgen, and a dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so that just, shows how you cook. And I know Karen, I think, cooks a little bit like that too, because, you know, she cooks a lot as well. So she, you know, throws in what has to throw in and yeah. So
Well, and baking are a bit different. So like I wouldn't ever eyeball baking soda or baking powder in a recipe.
oh yeah, no, not that.
So I would measure that. But
Uh,
like vanilla, and sometimes when you're making cookies, if your cookie dough is too thin, you just add more flour. I mean, but yeah, certain things I would never eyeball.
Right.
All right. So there is my cake batter. It's a little thicker, like I said, because it's the gluten-free flour. And then it's going to go in the stack cooker. And let me tell you, I think I told Sharita earlier, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4 cakes this week so far.
Yeah. I love the stack cooker. I've made
Well,
more
because
cakes.
I wanted to make sure my microwave was the right amount of time, right? Because everybody's microwave is different.
Right.
So I've got the stack cooker here. I'm going to put the cone in. I'm going to put my cake batter in here.
So let me ask you a question, because this is a question that always comes up. So do you cover your cake when you cook it in the micro, or do you uncover it?
So the rule of thumb is if you don't cover it in the oven, you don't cover it in the microwave.
And I asked that question because it's so funny, because years ago I used to cover mine, and then
Oh,
I heard you, well, I did, and everything cooked fine, but then I heard you say that one day on a cooking class, and I thought that just makes sense. So the other night at my party, the ladies are like, okay, are you covering it or uncovering it? And I'm like, do you cover your cake when you bake it normally? And they like, no. And I'm like, so we're not going to cover it. They loved it. And that pistachio pudding, ladies, when you add it to your yellow cake mix, it really makes your cake be a little bit green, right? So it'd be perfect for St. Patty's Day if
Hey.
you're planning to make something sweet.
Can you add pistachio paste to that?
Pistachio
I've
what?
never made pistachio paste.
Oh, I don't know. Karen, you probably could. I don't know.
Well, why not?
Yeah, they have it at the Whole Food store. I saw it there and I was just wondering, I thought that would make it really yummy.
But I think the pudding helps with the moistness for the cake to make the cake extra moist.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably could put a little bit of pistachio paste, but I would still add the pudding.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely. Get over there, bowl. And if you talk to your kitchen gadgets nicely, then they behave, right?
Right.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
Always.
Always. Kind of like children and grandchildren. If you talk to them nicely, they behave. Maybe not so much, but all right. So now I messily got that in my stack cooker. Very messy. But that's just how I roll. I tell my grandson, Grandma's good at making messes, but Grandma cleans up after herself. So now I'm going to put this in my microwave for 8 minutes at 50% power because my microwave is super strong and I don't want burnt offerings, even though my great grandmother claims that eating burnt food will give you a beautiful singing voice. So it goes.
All right, Karen, I'm gonna put you on.
Okay.
Let me.
Hey, go get her. I have a little chihuahua over here barking at someone outside.
Okay, let me get you there. Okay, Karen, you are on.
Okay. So because I have this little iPad here, I was going to have my sister-in-law, Debbie, kind of help with the camera. So she's controlling her little dog. Since my brother passed away, she has come and she's living with us now. So she's going to control the camera. And this is Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. So you can come over here and control the camera for me. I will. Okay, so we have, the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of butter and 40 large marshmallows and 6 cups of the Rice Krispies. But for the rice, for the ring, I'm doing only half of that.
Makes sense.
So I put 20 of the marshmallows in the stack cooker and only 1.5 tablespoons of the butter in here. And I put a little bit of vanilla because I like the flavor of vanilla to make it a
Okay,
little
so you got your marshmallows and your butter and vanilla inside your stack cooker. Got it.
right.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna just put on for a couple of minutes for them to melt. And I have my Rice Krispies in this bowl. And I love the bowls. And my microwave is real powerful. So, and what I did was I used that Pam spray, butter flavored, and I coated the inside of this because that is really sticky, the marshmallows after it
True.
melts. And also I coated the inside of the stack cooker because it's really hard to get it out once it melts.
And so while she's doing that, I went and grabbed my mold out of the freezer. So you could see that my thing popped out. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, that looks good. Oh yeah.
You see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna put mine in the oven, but I am gonna tell you guys something. I don't like ketchup on my meatloaf. I don't do the whole ketchup, brown sugar, whatever people do. I'm from the South, so what do you think I put on my meatloaf?
Barbecue sauce.
No, gravy,
Nope.
because gravy goes good with mashed potatoes. So I'm telling you guys that I'm gonna put my thing in the oven, and then I'm gonna show you when I add the gravy and how I do the gravy. But I just wanted you guys to know that I don't put any of that sauce stuff on mine. And I'm gonna go ahead and bake it. And then I'm gonna cook my mashed potatoes. So I peel my potatoes. I'm gonna throw some kosher salt in here and I'm gonna boil them because that's gonna be part of the presentation. Okay, so just so you guys know. All right.
So why did you use the gel ring? Can I ask, just to make it like nicer
To make it
shaped,
look-
or?
for presentation to make it
Oh,
look
present.
like,
Okay.
you see what it looks like?
Oh yeah, it looks good. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
So, it's so you can make a meat ring.
yes, a
instead of a
meat ring.
meatloaf.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
make a
All
meat
right.
ring. Yep, no worries. Okay. Go ahead, Karen. So I'm gonna remove mine and I'm gonna continue doing what I need to do.
Rice Krispies in and I'm mixing them all up as fast as I can because the marshmallows get very sticky, and when it starts to cool down, it gets dry fast and it's hard to spread. And I got some pastel M&Ms, so I'm spreading them on the bottom. So when I put the mold in, and my hands are clean, I washed them. And it's hard to wear gloves when you're working with this.
Right? That's what I said.
It sticks to everything.
If you butter your hands or your gloves when you're working with that kind of stuff, it makes it much easier.
Yeah, I tried that too, and it was terrible. It still stuck. It was terrible, I tell you. So then I just take some out and put it in. And I also sprayed and coated my spatula with the Pam. And I just gently spread it in all the way around the ring.
She does a good job.
I made this last night and took it to the bingo. to
Ah.
board. And I shared it with everybody, and they fell in love with the Jello ring and how I did it. And everybody tried some and loved it. And some of them were on supposed to watch the cooking class today, and I noticed one of them was on. Sherry, I think, is on.
I think Kathy's on, isn't she?
I don't know if Kathy's on. I didn't see her.
Sherry is for sure because she joined. Yeah.
And then I was thinking would be really cool if you added like those Fruity Pebbles and Rice Krispies together and made it
For the color to make it colorful for Easter.
and fruity.
Don't they make colored marshmallows?
They do, but I haven't seen any. I've only seen the white ones.
Ah, okay.
When you
can
melt
add
them, they
coloring.
kind of turn into a mess in color.
Yeah, you can add food coloring.
True.
I always, kind of thought, sometimes food coloring was like,
But I love that the stack cooker like literally cuts down the time. Because how many of you made Rice Krispie treats on the stove? By the time you melt that, stir it, melt it, stir it, you know what I mean? You can get it done super quick in your stack cooker. The stack cooker has so many uses for so many things. You can even do little mini meatloafs in the stack cooker as well. Putting the colander in and putting the meatloafs on top of the colander and cooking it in your stack cooker, so you can do mini meatloaf loaves
I've done.
in your stack cooker. Yeah. So you can do a lot of that as well.
Now, my Rice Krispie treats, I walk out of the kitchen and I'm on a plate and I splash water on my face and throw flour on it. 'Cause they're store-bought. No.
Look at you. Look at you. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys, I am not a huge Rice Krispie girl, but I'm gonna tell you that Cherie Mobley could make the best Rice Krispies I've ever tasted in my entire life. What she does to those Rice Krispies, I don't know. And I haven't tasted yours, Karen. So I know you do a lot of good food that tastes good and all that. So I would have to taste it, but she makes them really well.
I'll have to get her recipe.
Yeah, you just got to find out what she's adding because she does it. And like she made them for my daughter's wedding for the dessert table and for I think her bridal shower, maybe. That is the first thing that goes. Like the Rice Krispie treats are the first thing that leaves the table. So I don't know what's in there, but it's addicting. That's what I'll tell you. It's addicting.
Okay. Anyway,
All that gooiness.
I'm going to use my fingers now.
All right, go for it. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Let me put some oil on them.
Mine your way, dear. Let me know. I mean. So how you been doing, my dear?
Who's talking? Someone talking to me?
Debbie.
Oh, Debbie. I'm sorry. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I've been good. It's good to, I see you. I partly see you. That's why I didn't know who was talking. Sorry. Now I see you halfway. Hi there, Debbie.
Hello. Yeah.
How was bingo last night? Karen, was it good? You guys had a good turnout?
There was quite a bit of people there, and we had a pretty good turnout. It was fun.
Good. So Karen and that and the group over there, Karen and Kathy, a few others, they do a monthly bingo at this restaurant that lets them set up and do the bingo, and they get the people. I went over there once and checked it all out. I'm like, this is a great little deal that they're doing. So awesome. How's the cake looking, Lori?
A little bit longer.
Okay.
Like if you do gluten free, sometimes you have to tweak it.
All right.
It bakes a little differently.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna do some cheating. So I know you guys want to know about my cheat, right?
So
Karen
that's
got
it.
her Rice Krispie. Okay, so then what do you have to do? Do you have to let it sit some mold for a little
Yeah,
bit?
So I put it in the refrigerator and just let it cool down and let it harden.
Okay, so then she's gonna do that, and you're gonna be sure and take a picture. Take a picture, Karen, and send it to me in case we don't see it. Well, I still need a picture whether we see it or not. Just remember.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna join Karen on the screen, and I'm gonna tell you guys about some cheating that I'm gonna do. All right.
Okay.
It's okay to cheat in your kitchen sometimes. All right. All right. So I am going to have for our dinner tonight. I'm gonna have this meatloaf, right? And I told you guys that I don't do the whole like, what do you call it? Ketchup with the mustard. I mean brown sugar. Do you guys all put ketchup and brown sugar, or do you guys put barbecue sauce? I mean, what do you guys put on your meatloaf?
Ketchup and brown sugar.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Barbecue sauce.
Who does barbecue sauce?
I do.
Okay. Anybody else? Does anybody do gravy on their
I do gravy too. I do both.
all right.
I used
Okay.
to put cream of mushroom soup. and make a gravy with that.
Okay, so you're good. So I'm cheating today. So I have my potatoes, they're cooking on the stove. You can also make your potatoes in the stack cooker, but you know about me and my microwave. I don't want to deal with that. And it's only 2 potatoes and it won't take long for them to boil. I always add a little bit of kosher salt to my water when I boil my potatoes, so then they're all done. And I'll tell you a trick to my mashed potatoes shortly. But I'm gonna make something for Drew, since he's gonna get some meatloaf, and I'm gonna make him some cornbread muffins, but I don't feel like making cornbread from scratch. You guys all do your cornbread from scratch, or who else uses Jiffy?
I use Jiffy.
Yeah, so the trick to me with Jiffy is this, okay? So I add the egg, of course, you add your egg. But what I'm gonna do is I don't use regular milk. I use buttermilk. So if you want really good cornbread muffins or cornbread, period, you should always use buttermilk versus regular milk. It's just makes your stuff taste better. Trust me when I tell you. It's so good. Even when I do homemade cornbread that I put in my cornbread stuffing, my cornbread dressing for Thanksgiving, we use buttermilk. So I use buttermilk. And so that's one cheat thing that I do. So I'm going to cheat on my cornbread, and I'm going to make them into muffins because it'll be easier for Drew to eat than when I cut the stuff. Plus, who doesn't like using their silicone muffin pan, right? And so I'll make cornbread muffins, and then that way it's called control on how much cornbread you eat.
So you don't eat the whole pan. Uh-huh.
You see, I knew that someone would understand where I was.
Yeah.
So that's why you're going to do it that way, because otherwise you eat the whole pan and you don't mean to, but you keep cutting and then it's not evenly cut, that whole situation, right? Okay, so the other thing that I cheat on, just so you guys know, I cheat on that. So we've got to have I gotta have my cornbread muffins, right? So that's gonna be that. And then I use the buttermilk, okay? So I don't know how to make gravy. I'm not good at gravy. I can't do gravy. I'm not gonna say I can't do it, but it's super stressful. So I cheat. So I'm gonna use packaged gravy, mixing it with water in our quick shake. And so I'm actually gonna heat the gravy up on the stove a little bit and get it all like perfect. And then when the meatloaf is done, then I'm gonna drizzle that gravy on top of it when I put the mashed potatoes in the middle. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna make it. Now I'm gonna ask you guys another question about your mashed potatoes, those of you guys that do mashed potatoes. So those of you that do mashed potatoes, tell me what you do. Do you add butter and milk? Do you add any seasoning? What do you do to your mashed potatoes?
Parmesan.
Yeah, Parmesan.
Okay. Anybody else?
Butter, I add sour cream, and sometimes I add a little bit of cream cheese.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, good. I add sour cream to mine too, but I use the crema sour cream and not the regular sour cream. But I'm gonna share with you that I use this butter in my mashed potatoes.
And I put garlic, fresh garlic.
Use fresh garlic? Well, I cheat a little bit and I buy this garlic butter.
Oh yeah,
Butter. You guys ever seen this?
yeah. I've bought that before. It is so good.
Oh my God, it's so good on mashed potatoes, and it's already salted. So you don't have to add more salt, right? And then I add some pepper, and yeah. So those are my cheat things. So how's our cake looking, Lori?
So it's done.
All right.
That's what it looks like. This, remember, gluten-free version. So if you use a box cake mix and the pudding, it's gonna look different. Just so you know. But let me see if I can get it close enough. It releases. I don't know if you can see. Got to go up here, but it
Yeah.
releases from the side really, really well. And so, but just to make sure, because none of us like it when the cake tears and sticks or anything, right? So just to make sure, I'm going to take my handy dandy citrus peeler, take
Mm,
the skinny end and go around just to double check and make sure it's loose,
I like that.
right? Because we don't want to use sharp objects in here. We don't want to use metal in here and scratch up our beautiful acrylic. And then the fun part. Then you take it and invert it. And it says on the cake taker, but it's going to get cut and put in the fridge because when it gets too warm here, things go moldy pretty fast. So everything goes in the fridge. And my cake taker is clearly not going to fit in my fridge. So I do it on the big plate. I call this the cake plate. Originally it was called the open house collection and it was supposed to be a dinner plate, but this sucker is huge, which is why I call it the cake plate. We do not eat meals on this.
I remember that.
Use this for serving. So you just invert it and let it do its magic. Let gravity work.
Hmm.
And it may take a little bit, but it's coming.
So Paulette, I think, is asking questions. Can somebody read the chat for us and tell us what the questions are so we can answer?
Look what I found in my stash.
Oh, let me find you. Hold on. I'm gonna remove me and then we can see you.
I was trying to figure out what this went to.
Let me add you here. Hold on.
And I kept thinking it was,
That's something to an old cake taker.
yeah, that's what I thought.
That goes
That
to
it
a
was
cake taker.
or as a cheese for cheese and crackers or something, because it's kind of rough textured.
Really? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Where'd you find it at?
It was up in my cupboard with all my
Oh, wow.
up with all my other serving things, you know, with my cheese containers, with my my serving trays and my Tupperware serving trays. Yeah, where they have, you know, where you put the hors d'oeuvres, crackers and cheese and little dips and stuff. It was with that. Anyway, I served the Rice Krispie ring on it last night and it fit perfectly.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I haven't seen that in a long time. So Paulette, I'm sorry, I don't have the right glasses on, so I know that you were saying something.
In the chat.
I'm trying to read it, but I can't read it, and so I'll have to figure out what you were asking later, or somebody else can read it. But Karen, yeah, you probably have had that for a very long time, and you probably it probably had some kind of cover to it too, I bet.
Yeah, I don't have the cover for it, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. Going, okay, this is cool. Yes, it-
So to speed up time, right? Because this one I made earlier today in the stack cooker. It's a different kind. I did the same thing. I did a pudding cake as well, except I did a chocolate pudding one in this one. And then when it came out nice and hot and I had it on the plate and it was still hot, I put the frosting on top and let the heat do the magic and melt the frosting down. So that's what it looks like when you're done. And like I said, this will get sliced up and put in the fridge so that it doesn't go moldy because it gets too warm here. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is you can also do it in the Micro Pro Grill. I already ate some of this one.
Oh, so you put it in the did you put it in the ring?
I did put it in the ring.
Ah,
And so if you are going to do, so 1 or 2 people, your Micro Pro Grill is better for it. And you can do any cake batter, brownie
how
batter.
long did you cook it in the micro grill?
It was, I think it did 8 minutes at 50% power. So
Wow.
it's interesting time
Cute.
wise.
Cute.
I know,
That's-
kind of like Pac-Man, right?
Yeah, it does look like Pac-Man.
But this one, so if it's only just 1 or 2 people, you know, make up your cake batter or your brownie batter or cookie dough and just keep it in the fridge. And then when you want more, just make more because this is perfect for like 1 to 2 people, right? If you have more people or a bigger family, you're going to want to use your stack cooker and make a whole lot more.
Love
So-
that.
Ways you can do the same thing, but 2 different pieces of equipment. You got your micro pro grill, and then you have your stack cooker.
Perfect. All right, so Karen's working here.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, pretty.
How cute that is. That is adorable. Make sure we get a picture of that. So you put the pastel color M&Ms.
Yeah,
How cute. That's super cute. You're matching your Rice Krispie treat today, Karen, with your outfit. Because I noticed you have your purple bring on the party shirt. I love
Yeah.
it.
I got the party shirt on. I was like, okay, I need something colorful.
Right?
That's really cute. And you know what else you could add to that? You could put little bunny peeps
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
all the way.
little
Are
bunny
the
peep.
little chicks?
Yeah.
Or chicks, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this was so cool. So did you guys have any questions for any of us here for the cooking class? So you guys got to see Rice Krispie treats done. You guys know I'm making a meatloaf and it's just gonna take longer, so you'll just have to wait for the pictures, but it's in the oven and it's cooking. And then I'm gonna make my gravy. My potatoes are cooking, and then we're gonna have a wonderful salad made in our Clearly Elegant. So I already have my salad ready. I know you're gonna ask, Rita, why do you have your salad turned upside down? Does anybody want to know?
Well, I see the paper towel in there.
Yeah, so whenever I put my salad in a bowl before I eat it, I always fold a paper towel and put it there. And then I turn it upside down so that if there's any moisture, it's gonna go on the paper towel before I eat it. Because I have my tomatoes and my avocado and my cucumber and everything is in here. So I have, my salad ready to go for dinner, right? So I just turn it upside down and I put it on the paper towel. So
Yeah, that works perfectly. I've done that before.
yeah. So I'm gonna have that, the cornbread. So they're already on my muffin pan. So I'll put those in right when I'm almost done with the meatloaf. So it's ready. The potatoes are boiling and dinner will be ready soon. So I like it when we do cooking class early because then I eat early. So I'm gonna make this and then, I'm gonna share it with my kids. I'll take it over to Ashley's tomorrow because I'll be gone and it'll just go to waste. So nobody will be here to eat it. But any questions? Paulette, I finally was able to read all your stuff. Thanks for all your sharing. Sabrina, it's so nice to see you. Oh my gosh, she got on the cooking class today. So any questions? Any questions? Any feedback? Anything?
Oh, looks good. I wish
I want that cake recipe.
So I'll put the cake recipe in the Let's Get Cooking group. In our Let's Get Cooking group, I'll put it there. Does anyone else have any questions?
just all looks good. Wish I could.
I'll take my picture. The presentation is going to be phenomenal because those mashed potatoes are going to be in the middle and that gravy is going to be drizzled all on top of it. I'm getting hungry. I can't wait to eat it.
I know. I'm craving the meatloaf and mashed potatoes now.
I should have just told you guys to come over and eat, right? We'll have to have a gathering and we'll make it together or something like that. So anyways, well, thank you guys for joining Let's Get Cooking. So next month, April, is our Let's Get Cooking. And I don't remember what our theme is supposed to be. Does anyone remember what our theme was going to be? Oh, Easter. I know it's Easter, but by the time we have the cooking class, it'll be after Easter. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do next month for our class. I want to say thank you to Lori and thank you, Karen. We're excited that you came back to cook with us. We appreciate that. It's good to see you, Debbie. Now I can see you. But we need more people cooking with us because it's always fun, right, Lori? It's always fun.
Yeah.
So, all righty. Well, if there's nothing else, we want to say see you later. Thanks. And don't forget to join us on Saturday morning if you guys can. We're going to be doing our April launch, and I have some really important news to share with you. So I hope to see you guys there. Bye.
Thank you.
And for everything. I appreciate you guys, and we'll put the recipe. I'll put the cake recipe in there. As far as my meatloaf, I made it up. So I don't have a recipe for that. So you'll have to just Google a meatloaf and add whatever you need to add to it. But I told you I was all my tricks. And Rice Krispie treats is Rice Krispie treats, right? So Karen did it in the stack cooker. She just halved the normal thing. and she added her own flavor to it. So, and if you're gluten-free and you're watching, go back and watch because Lori told you all the things she did and how she made the cake edible for her tummy. So we appreciate you all. Thanks again. Bye.
Okay, thank you.